Greetings. I hope you're doing well wherever you are and whatever you're doing. My name is Sharad Creasman, and I have the pleasure of serving as your college minister. I am a graduate of the institution, and so, like you, I celebrate and I cherish and remember this space and all that it means to me, all of the professors that have been influential, the staff members, and friends, and everyone who has played such a crucial role in my development. I recognize that it would not have happened if I did not experience this space we know as Brevard College. So I'm grateful for this space and for you and for your presence. Real quickly, I want us to look at the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verse 19. The Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verse 19. It's there that you'll find these words or words very similar. But Jesus wouldn't allow it. He said, "Go home to your own people and tell them what the Lord has done for you and how he has shown you mercy." I'll read it one more time. Jesus says, "Go home to your own people and tell them what the Lord has done for you and how he has shown you mercy." May we be blessed by these words. I want to talk very briefly from this thought. Let's go home. Let's go home. This week, I returned back to Brevard, North Carolina from what some people called a 6-month deployment. I am a member of the United States Air Force Reserves, and I serve as a chaplain. And for the last 6 months, I've had to serve in places that I did not imagine I would serve in. I've had to stand in front of people's doors and to deliver news that their loved one would not be coming home. I've had to stand and sit with people in crises, had to offer my prayers and best thoughts to individuals as they rush to hospitals not knowing what the outcome would be. I've celebrated baptisms and weddings. It was a phenomenal experience. But as the time got closer for my departure, I started to intuitively say and feel that it was time to go home. It was time to get back to where I was ready to go. I was ready to go home. And I remember the day before I was leaving that I had packed the car, I was ready to go, and my wife and I, we got in the car and we are about to leave. And so we had to make a decision. Would we make a stop on the way or would we return home? And we looked at each other and we said very clearly to each other, it's time to go home. Let's go home. After spending but so long in a small space, in a bathroom that's not yours, in a refrigerator that you don't know anything about, it was time to go home. We were ready to get into our own beds, to roll on our own carpet, to open up our own refrigerator and cabinets. We were ready to go home. And when we got home, we celebrated. We were excited because the reality is that we finally made it to this space where we were comfortable. That while we hadn't seen it in a while, it was still familiar, that we could enjoy it and we could realize that we were home, that home was waiting for us on the other side. And today we celebrate our homecoming. That no matter where we are in the world, no matter what we're doing, no matter what we're experiencing, we can realize that this space, Brevard College, is still home to us. It still has a place within us, and it still has a place to help us be even better. And it's in this text that we understand some of the images of what it means to go home. If you look inside of this text with me, If you look at the context of this small verse, verse 19, you'll understand that there is an issue that takes place with an individual. It's an individual that people did not care too much for. He had some struggles. He had some issues. He had some rough edges. So much so that people called him Legion, including himself. But Jesus, in conversation with him, touches him, heals him, transforms him. And after that transformation takes place, the gentleman responds to Jesus and asks Jesus, "Can I go with you? Can I go to another place? Because I've already been changed. I've been transformed. The work has been done. Now let me go with you." And it's in Jesus' message to this gentleman that we're able to understand some things about returning home. And so I want to share with you, first thing that shows up in light of this text is that we must return. We must return. Jesus says very clearly to this gentleman who has been touched, who has been healed, who has been transformed. Jesus says, "Go home to your people." Go home to your people. I remember when I was about to graduate from graduate school, I didn't know what I was going to do. I did not have any job lined up after I graduated. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I remember seeing a gentleman in the community where I lived. And he came up to me one day and he said, "Son, I see you all the time. What are you doing with yourself?" And I told him I was about to graduate. I was graduating with a master's, and I was glad to be done with that part of my journey. He said, "Oh yeah, that's great. Congratulations. What are you doing now?" I told him I don't know. I've been applying to positions, but I don't know what's going to happen. So the gentleman said to me, "Son, go home. Go home." And with the wisdom of a sage, the voice of ancestors speaking behind me, I could hear something that I did not quite recognize. The man put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Son, home needs you. You need to go home because too many people leave home and forget that home was ever there. They leave and they don't even turn around to look back." He looked me in my eye and he said again, "Son, go home." I told him, "Thank you for the message," but I would not go. Lo and behold, a couple of years later, I got a phone call to come and speak at the college. I spoke at the college, and after speaking at the college, it unfolded. And eventually I became the college minister. It was a blessing to return home, to celebrate all that the college has done, all the college is doing. The fact that the college would allow me to partner with it as it celebrates its people, its faculty, its staff, its students, and its community. I have the pleasure of being here to serve and to go home. Like me, you have the pleasure of going home, to remember all that home has done. You can return in so many ways and do so many things. And I celebrate you and I thank you for your ability to return. Though we might not be able to return physically right now, though we all can't just come into the same space, there's many ways we can return. We can return by offering ourselves, offering our treasures, offering our talents to build and to expand the goodness that Brevard College has been for us. And so we can return. The second thing that shows up in this text is after Jesus calls them to return, the second thing is that we can reflect. After you return, you can reflect. Not only does Jesus say, "Go home to your own people," Jesus says, You need to be able, in verse 19, to tell them what the Lord has done. You and I should be able to think about all the things that have been done simply because we've come through here. All of the things that happen, all of the ways that have been made, all of the obstacles that have been pushed out of the way. So I got to Brevard College by chance. When I graduated from high school, I graduated with a very low GPA. I applied to every school I thought I could get into. I got into none. And thankfully, a professor who knew me from the college saw me and said, "Sharad, what are you doing?" And I told him, "I'm not doing anything. I did not get into college. I didn't make it." He asked me to come to his office, and I came to his office. We had a conversation. I filled out an application, and the next thing I knew, I was a student at Brevard College. I say that to say that I remember that Brevard College, long before they knew who I was, took a chance on me. They celebrated me. They worked with me. They guided me. They loved me enough to escort me into someone that I was becoming. It's that I enjoy about Brevard College, that they take a chance, not just on me, but on its people, that they care for us. They walk with us. They strengthen us. They enliven us. They propel us. They push us. And I get to reflect on that, because if it were not for Brevard College, I would not have been able to go to the Morehouse School of Religion. I would not have been able to graduate from the Morehouse School of the Religion and pursue another degree at Emory University. If it was not for Brevard College, I would not be able to say that I am soon to be a graduate of a PhD program. It is because of my experiences at Brevard College that Brevard College took a chance on me, and I can reflect and be thankful for what the college has done, the people that I've had to meet along the way, the places that I've happened to be able to go, the care that people have shown for me. I am grateful when I reflect and I think about it, and I challenge you to reflect as well. And so you return, you reflect, and you recall. Not only do you reflect, Jesus says you need to be able to tell the people and show the people what God has done and how God has had mercy. How God has had mercy. When I left Brevard College about 6 months ago to go serve at Patrick Air Force Base, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. And I jokingly laughed. It felt phenomenal to realize that when I got to the base that I was going to serve at, I learned that the county that the Air Force Base I was working in resides in is Brevard County. I found it very peculiar that I left Brevard, North Carolina to go serve in Brevard County, Florida. That I left Brevard to go serve in Brevard. And when I left Brevard County, Florida, I returned right back to Brevard, North Carolina to serve. I smile because I realize God has done phenomenal things, opened doors that I can't imagine, been gracious to me, cared for me, and walked with me. And I can return home to celebrate what has been done, to recognize that great things are still being done, and to celebrate all of the mysterious goodness, yes, greatness that takes place. I'm just one testament, one image of a desire to return home. So I hope you're blessed. I hope you have a phenomenal homecoming wherever you are, and that you can remember that you can always return, whether it's through offering your gifts of your time, or your talents, your treasure, whether you can reflect on what Brevard College has meant to you, what it means to you, the ways in which the college has helped you, and you can recall all of those things to help someone else know there's one place that will help you, expand you, challenge you, love you, help you, stand with you. Yes, it's Brevard College, and I'm grateful for it. So have a great day. Be blessed.